Hello and welcome to the Advocate On PlusTV Africa, your Sunday reminder that important conversations are among the necessary tools for a sane society. I will be talking about the other side of the Japa syndrome, stigma of a failed migration journey. Felix will be talking about leadership delivery, manifestos like plan of action are for business profitability. Victor Onyekere will be discussing on we're losing our talents, while Hussein Olanrewaju will be talking about CBN new policy, the vices and the virtue. Today, expect incredible conversations that will interest you. We will be right back after the break. Welcome back. The other side of the Japa syndrome, stigma of a failed migration journey. As we all know, it's major Japa season. Japa, as called in Nigeria, is migration out of Nigeria in search of greener pastures or a better form of living. But then again, Japa is not a new phenomenon. Nigerians have been living en masse since the 80s, and we have people from certain areas of the country who especially favor Europe, with reference to Spain and Italy. But there is another part of the migration narrative that I want to talk about today. We hear the success stories. We see the dividends of going abroad, right? But we have a set of people who left Nigeria in search of gold, but the story went south for different reasons, and now they are back. These people are called returning migrants. In the eyes of families and community members, they have failed where others succeeded. What is said to them as things like, why? Hope your eyes have cleared. Why is your own case different? Didn't Mama Nonso's son go to Italy and now the entire family is living in a duplex? Didn't Osareme just send home thousands of dollars? In fact, we keep seeing pictures of your friends and even younger ones looking fresh in their abroad. But oh no, you useless one. You have brought your unfortunate self back to us with nothing, absolutely nothing. So let's look, who is a returning migrant? A person returning to their country of citizenship after having been international migrants. There are some things that are certain, and these are things that returning migrants face. They face shame and stigma from their communities after a failed migration journey, as we have seen abroad, already above. Families have spent large sums of money financing migration, and they feel anger and or disappointment when their hopes come back empty-handed. Stigma is worse for Nigerian female returnees, with some female returnees disparagingly referred to as prostitutes. In some cases, these returnees who go to other parts of the country, like Edo, Delta, or anywhere else, come to Lagos in order to escape the shame and stigma they received upon return. What am I doing today? Today, I'm advocating for the following: that family networks should offer financial support to influence reintegration success. When returnees come back, many lack access to job opportunities, are unable to cover their basic living expenses or debts, and this actually pushes many to remigrate. Family and financial support upon return can actually help their reintegration process. What else can actually be done? The media can also help to reduce stigma by 1. Challenging stereotypes by realizing that what you say and how you say it matters. It is important to avoid the use of stereotypical negative expressions about returnees, as this can create or increase stigma. Just maybe we can avoid sensational stories about deportation and focus on humanizing the experiences of returnees. 2. We can showcase positive stories of the positive contributions that returning migrants make to Nigeria, such as those returnees who have started their own businesses or who are beginning to advocate for successful reintegration. 3. We can increase the knowledge about the psychosocial challenges that migrants face upon their return, such as what we're doing today. 4. We can become advocates for better reintegration and psychosocial support for returnees. We can also signpost returnees to sign up for any migrant support free and confidential counseling services that are offered around to provide emotional support to them and to help them cope with migration stressors. I would like to say that nobody should be stigmatized, and more so for a failed migration journey.
One thing about migrating abroad is those returnees you talked about. If you go illegally, let's say through those people that have porous border, let me give you an example. Before, it's easy for you to go through irregular routes. When I mean irregular route, I don't mean through the physical route. I mean reasons for going to countries like the United Arab Emirates.
When you say physical route,
I don't mean okay, let me paraphrase my phrase. I meant, okay, let me give you an example. I think in 2020, I was opportune to meet someone at the airport. I went to the Murtala Mohammed airport to do something, and I saw a very young girl of the age of, she was just barely 19 or 20. And she just arrived from UAE. She was stranded at the airport. She needed to go home. And then she met me, she needed some money. Of course, normally, if I should behave like most Nigerians, they will ignore and say, who is this person? You want to scam me? But I felt pushed to listen to her. So she explained everything to me. Although before I even listened to her, I told her, okay, let me see proof that you're even returning from UAE. She brought out her passport. I saw the proof that they just stamped it. She was just arriving. I said, what's your problem? And she said that she went there in search of greener pasture, and she went there, she was like a domestic servant there through someone. Of course, you know the way they will go, not so clean, not so straightforward method. Her passport was seized by this person, and she was not really treated well while she was there. Somehow, to cut the long story short, she was able to find her way back to Nigeria, and it was hell for her. Now, definitely. Yeah, so she's just there struggling, doing whatever it is for her to survive.
You have a lot of experience on this matter.
Yes, I met her. So what I'm saying is that the percentage of persons that have this problem, the people that have this problem of returning without achieving anything, are the people that actually go abroad without the due process. So the chances of survival there, success rate will be very, very low.
So I want to say something, right? Beyond the true process of jackpotting or going abroad for greener pasture, it amazes you that when people say Mr. Hay has opportunity to go to abroad, everybody say congratulations.
Exactly.
For what?
Yes, for
the fact that I live in Nigeria.
So the truth is, I was opportune to go to some countries, and I see somebody who has visa has expired for the past 2 years, a Nigerian, and I wanted to buy something. The guy needs to lead me. He was just going, bros, please, how much can you give me? And that's abroad, not in Nigeria.
We have many of them like that.
I now have people who just get into the country, are looking for jobs, and kind of, a friend of mine who stays there says, please, what skills do you possess?
Exactly.
What quality can you have, kind of value? No. Do you understand? So the issue is, as we are looking at abroad, is a typical moving from village to the city in Nigeria. Like now, I have not been in Lagos before. I don't see sky. I don't see tall buildings and what have you. When I get there, I was like, wow, what is this? It amazed me. I want to stay. But if I come to a city like Lagos, even as hustling and bustling are going, if I don't have anything to offer, I will be useless.
Sure. Very
going
useless.
back home, you think you have gone to a city that you have found a greener pasture, and they are expecting a lot of things from home. So the expectations are high because there is lack of communication, lack of knowledge, lack of value that you are to add to the society. So you have to first, before you think about seeking a greener pasture, know that you are going to solve a problem. You are going for a problem to be solved, but you yourself have to equip yourself with necessary things. So we should stop encouraging the fact that I'm happy with the Japa season that we have right now, because it's more of the average set of people who have something to offer, because they are well to do in Nigeria, right? Probably some other factor they are considering making them to move. But the aspect of people you're talking about who are returnees, by the time you look into probably lack of purpose, you should, like the counseling that you talked about, the counseling aspect in Nigeria is zero.
It's absolutely zero.
Zero. So I think we should start by encouraging from secondary school, from university, and also people who are working, the relationship and all those things. If counseling comes into play, there are a lot of things that will correct, just like the correctional center we have in Nigeria. It is sad that they are not correcting anything. Even some people feel, some people feel because they can get daily meal, even as small as it is at the correctional center, that if I can hit 2 or 3 square meals while I'm in prison, and then when I come back, I don't have anything to offer. Some people say, please return me back to prison. They will commit crime. I have seen people who
just to be in prison.
Exactly, because they can hit. They are not seeking for, they don't have anything to offer. So there are a lot of things that are wrong. I mean, ideological sense and what have you, we need to look into all those things from that perspective as well.
Actually, there was a comment you made that I sort of think that maybe we need to kind of correct. One, about, say, a lot of returning migrants in the development space. People have the assumption that when people are coming back, most of them went there irregularly or they never do well. There are some people that actually went there with proper papers.
Exactly.
They went there correctly, but they overstayed their visa time. Or they went to school, which is what is going to likely happen very soon. Next 2 to 3 years, we're going to have this crisis on a larger scale because of the numbers. But what has gone on from the 80s to now is that you had a lot of Nigerians who actually went for holidays, for studies, and they stayed there because you have a high concentration of Nigerians from Europe who are educated, PhD holders, master's degree holders, who can no longer fit into that system, and they either come back voluntarily or they broke. But what now happens is that the home they left here, when there was hope, there was aspiration that, okay, my son, my daughter has gone abroad and is going to bring back good. You now come back to Nigeria with what? Because don't forget that in that system, people don't realize that the system is so planned, it's so budgeted. It's not like here where we are able to live anyhow we want to live. So when you now come back, and you want those same family members that thought you were doing well or that thought your life was good to now come and take you in. That's what we're now really, my advocacy is sort of pointing at that. One is two-sided. We need to also, as people, like you rightly said, you said when somebody's going to say congratulations because they feel that now we are all going to be good. Like somebody enters government, my brother has entered government, all of us. That's the same way it is. You, somebody has gone abroad, we feel that you're going abroad means that we're all going to benefit. But you now come back. So as communities, as families, as society, and it goes to the point of where it's about even the example you give of correctional centers. How do we actually build a society that allows people to flourish? So that takes away the push factors that helps us to know when I come back here. But on this simple, narrow side of things, we're talking about, okay, you know what, at least basic saying, remove the stigma. Somebody comes back, let them know that they are welcome back home. Then secondly, explore. Some good thing about counseling is that, and that's also where information is also lacking. There are a number of free counselings that are going on now. Development space is doing a lot of work, but information is restricted. But then anyway, let's go on with our advocacy for today. I can see that Victor does not have anything yet, but I'm going to tackle each other very soon. Don't worry, I'm waiting for you. Anyway, Elijah Felix is next after the break.